Chip chip everyone, and welcome to a new Sims 4 speed building video on my channel. Hi, my name is Birdie and I like to build houses, apartments and more in The Sims that are inspired by movies, series and the characters in them. And today's video is no exception because I'm starting a new building series on my channel and I'm calling it Simflix and Guess. What this means is I'm building something in The Sims that is built for and inspired by characters and their houses from popular series that you can find on various streaming platforms such as Netflix, Amazon Prime or Disney+. And I will not tell you straight away which TV character is living in the building. Throughout the voiceover I will give you some hints while I'm building that will help you to find out which character's home this is, and I only tell you at the end of the video which one is the correct answer. If you want to have some fun and guess, it is your job to watch the video closely, listen to what I'm saying and try to find out the serious character this apartment is inspired by. Tell me in the comments down below what your suggestion is, and I trust you that you're not cheating. So let's start and focus more on what I'm building right now. You already saw me figuring out the floor plan. This apartment has got one bedroom and one ensuite bathroom, as well as a kitchen and an open dining and living room combination, plus there is a small little balcony. The balcony is not originally something you can also find in the series that I'm referring to with this apartment. In The Sims we are building at 19 Culpepper apartment and this has a balcony, so I incorporated into the building. This is something you have to keep in mind for all of my builds from the Simflix and Guess series. They are only inspired by TV shows and their characters in them. They are not a one-to-one replication of the building you see in the series, but rather inspired by them. And my version is that I try to rebuild the apartment or the house in The Sims. Right now I'm opening up this wall that divides the living and the bedroom from one another, and this is a fixer-upper apartment. The character lives in it during a renovation and the apartment is gutted, and you can see a raw fireplace as well as a raw stud wall. So I used the wooden planks that you can find in the Live Edit catalog and I sized them up and rotated them using the tool mod by Twisted Maxi to rebuild this stud wall. You can see the stud wall in the series as well, and during season 3 of the series the character living in this apartment starts to renovate this place, and therefore this video is only part A of 2 parts. In my next speed build I'm going to work on part B of this apartment, in which I'm going to renovate it according to what you can see in the series starting from season 3. For the walls in this apartment I used the wallpaper from the Desert Luxe kit, so the walls look like bare plaster, and I combined it with this wooden floor that looks kind of run down. The floor I used is the Wild West wood floor from the Get Famous expansion pack, and on the right side I try to recreate this stud wall that looks like an opening for maybe a door. And throughout the apartment I used columns to open up the walls dividing the living and the dining room from one another, because in the series this is also a rather open floor plan concept, and the columns I used are from Realm of Magic and they look quite similar to the ones you can see in the series. In this apartment you can only find 3 actual doors, so I used the ones from Get to Work to separate the kitchen and the dining room from the entrance hallway, as well as I've used the same door but in a brown and not in a white swatch for the door to the balcony. Apart from these 3 doors, there are only arcs I used in this apartment, so it looks like all the doors have been removed for maybe remodeling and renovation, and even the bathroom door is missing, which for me is quite funny. So you have to use the bathroom with the door wide open and everyone can see you while you're sitting on the toilet, because the toilet unfortunately is right in front of the door frame, and I guess this is not a big problem for the Sim living in this apartment when they they are alone, but I guess it can lead to some funny interactions when you have guests over. But I believe the character that is living in this apartment isn't someone that often invites guests into their gutted apartment. For the windows in this apartment, I used the upright window, this is what it is called, that came with City Living, and I use it in a swatch that is light brown on the outside and white on the inside, because on the one hand it is the one that is used on the outside of all the other apartments in the building, so it looks cohesive from the outside, and on the other hand the swatch does have some old dirty bits on it. You can see some black dots on there, so it looks like it has seen better days, which plays along with the quite rundown and fixer-upper scheme I was following while I was building this apartment. And in the series the windows are rather floor-to-ceiling windows, so I was not sticking completely to the original in this window placement. So you already saw me furnishing the entrance hallway, and in the series this apartment is based on there's not much you can see that is placed in the hallway, so I had to use my imagination to furniture it to my liking. I placed down this coat rack from the base game on the right side of the door, as well as this umbrella rack which is from the season pack, and some shoes. For the shoes I used the 30 footwear from the Dream Home Decorator pack, and they also show that there is a woman living in this apartment. Please don't get me wrong, these shoes can be worn by everyone apart from the gender they identify with, but I just wanted you to give you the next hint that there is someone identifying as a female living in this apartment. So moving on, I plunked down this mirror from the base game behind the wall, so the sim living here can check herself in the mirror before leaving the apartment, which for me is a quite realistic touch. I believe most people have a mirror somewhere close to the entrance door, somewhere in the hallway, and at least for me this is quite common. I also have a mirror on the wall in my entrance hallway. I cover up this fuse box, I think is what it is called, on the wall using the stool from Jungle Adventure, and I place a plant from the For Rent pack on top of it. And on the walls I use different decoys from I think For Rent and Vampires and some other packs that I don't remember, so the walls look a bit run down as well. And I place a picture which is from Outer Retreat on the wall, and I place a wardrobe from the For Rent pack, as well as this shabby chic dining chair from the Werewolves pack in this blue color swatch to add a pop of color. Then I put down a rug from Laundry Day beneath it and place the light bulb from Laundry Day on the ceiling as well. And I used this light bulb throughout this whole apartment because it looks like all of the lamps have been taken down and there are only light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, which is quite realistic to do during a renovation, I guess. So right now I'm furnishing the kitchen. The fridge and the stove I'm using are both from City Living, and I paired them with these rundown cabinets and counters which are from the same expansion pack because they match the whole vibe of This Apartment Has Seen Better Days. And behind the stove I placed these pipes on the wall, so the stove is a bit moved further, a bit away from the wall, and maybe in order to fix the pipes behind the stove and maybe the cables. And because the stove soon will be swapped out, it is moved a bit forward, so there will be a new one soon. And on the right side you can see these pipes that look like they are pipes for hot and cold water, and that's why I thought there might be the perfect place for a sink or as well as the washing machine, so there is water supply for the washing machine and the sink. And later I will also place a dryer on top of the washing machine because I realized that there has to be a place where Sim can dry the clothes after washing them in the washing machine. Then I clutter up the counters with the soap that looks like a sponge for me from the bathroom clutter kit, a soap dispenser and the paper towel dispenser, as well as the cookbook which is from the Home Chef Hustle Stuff pack, and some more clutter items. I place the bin next to the fridge, and that's it for the small little kitchen. And in the series you actually never see the kitchen, so I had to use my imagination in order to furnish this room as well. The next room I'm furnishing right now is the dining room, and here you can see this white base scheme door, and I merged it into the wall of the neighboring apartment. I did this because in the dining room you see in the series there is this door leading to whatever room, so we never see where it is going, but I wanted to place it down anyway because it is a nice way to fill up the wall space. But the door unfortunately is not functional, it is purely for decoration. In this dining room I used the wooden dining table from the little campers kit because it looks quite weathered, and I use it with 4 different chairs. One is from the Eco Lifestyle, 2 are from City Living, and I guess 1 is from the For Rent expansion pack. And it looks like these chairs have been randomly scattered from wherever and placed down in this construction site, so there is a place where you can eat. And therefore I also cluttered up the desk with a takeaway pizza box and a noodle box, so it looks like the sim living here orders food regularly and eats at this table. And in order to place down a ladder, I rotated these 2 wooden ladder pieces, which are from the Life Edit catalog from Cats and Dogs, and I used the tool mod, so it looks like a step ladder. Then I tried to clutter up this dining room with various Life Edit stuff that looks like it belongs on a construction site, as well as some boxes, and I found this toolkit, which is from the Get Famous expansion pack in the living room, in the Live Edit menu, and I rotated and placed it on these wooden boxes here using the tool mod as well. For the curtains I used these orange ones, which are from the For Rent expansion pack, because on the inspiration pictures I was looking at, which is from the series, this apartment also had quite orange looking curtains, so I used these ones from For Rent. I placed down some cobwebs left and right, and in live mode you can actually see spiders crawling onto them, which adds to the feeling of this place being currently under construction, and no one bothers to deep clean this place right now and to get rid of these cobwebs and the spiders in them. Right now I'm furnishing the living room, and here I decided which couch to use, and I had to decide between the one from the Basement Treasures kit and the one from High School Living, and I chose this orange-red one. Maybe you can also describe it as somewhat salmon colored. It is this striped couch, and I chose it because it is closer to the one that is used in the series. I paired with the coffee table, which is from the Basement Treasures kit, and in the original, so in the series, there is no coffee table, but rather there are 2 CD boxes that look like the ones that we got with the Basement Clutter kit as well, and they are turned upside down, but I wanted to use a proper coffee table so I can add some more clutter on it, so I went with the one from the Basement Treasures kit. And the curtains I'm using are once again from the For Rent pack, and I place a lot of debugs pictures you see right now, which are from Parenthood on the fireplace. You will see me do this in a minute. And these pictures, as well as the case pictures you see on the coffee table, are the next hint to who is actually living in this apartment, because for me they look like these are evidence pictures a policeman or a policewoman might take, and the sim living here, she isn't a policewoman, even though she is not. She is interested in finding killers and interested in solving crimes and doing some detective work. So therefore I placed down these pictures, and now you see me furnishing this little desk area here. So I'm placing down this desk from the Werewolves gameplay pack, so there is a dedicated space where the sim living here does all of her detective work using the computer at this desk, and I cluttered up with some fingerprints in these Ziploc bags and random other stuff that looks like a detective would have it in his or in this in her apartment. So on this desk there's a lamp, and I place down this bottle so that it looks like there is a drink for the person sitting here. And then I turn the camera around, and in this corner I place down a plant which is from Cottage Living, as well as this hanging plant, which is my favorite plant from the Blooming Rooms kit. Next, I'm focusing on the wall behind this desk area, and I'm placing down an art easel because the sim living here is an artist. She likes to paint and is quite creative and really good at it. And I believe she is also selling her art pieces in order to make money and to afford the renovation for this place. On the wall behind the art easel, I place down a lot of these pictures that show different people, and I do this because this wall does play an important role in the series. It is a mural painted by the person living in this apartment herself, that shows different suspects and people living in this building and the different apartments, because there is a murder in the building, and the sim living here together with two friends try to find who did this, who is the murderer. And in order to recreate this mural, I used these base game pictures that show different people, and I used these various swatches. I sized them down so it looks interesting and somewhat like the original mural you see in the series. Then you already saw me placing down this microphone next to the work desk, and I do this because the character living here has got a podcast, and the microphone should hint towards this. I also place a lamp in the corner as well, because in the original you could see that there is a lamp there. I then quickly furnished up the little hallway that is leading up to the bedroom. I placed a plant in the corner, as well as another one of these shabby chic looking chairs, which are from Werewolves. It is the same one I also used in the entrance hallway and next to the wardrobe, and I placed down a round beige rug. Now we are in the bedroom, and I used the bed from Seasons here and paired it with a nightstand from High School Years. On this nightstand I placed down an alarm clock, which is from Base Game, a lamp from Horsemange, and a phone with keys, which are from the Everyday Clutter kit. In front of the nightstand I placed down the stacks of books we got from the Book Nook kit, because the sim living here likes to read books as well. And while I'm decorating her bedroom, let's talk a little bit more about the character behind the sim living in this apartment. She actually lives in her aunt's old apartment while she's renovating it, though this apartment originally belongs to her aunt, and she's only living here during the renovation, so her job is to renovate the place. She likes listening to true crime podcast, and starts her own podcast with some Sims who live in the same building. She is a young adult, and the Sim self I imagined living here. She wants to be a painter extraordinaire. She is self-assured, ambitious, and an art lover. She loves the colors yellow, green, and orange, and her skills are she's good at painting, and she likes research and debate. I placed down different art pieces on the wall above the bed to make it look like these are all of the sketches the sim living here is drawn. And I placed down this bookcase from the Book Nook kit, as well as a plant in the corner by the door leading out on the balcony. And beneath the window you see right now by the bathroom door, I placed this chest of drawers, which is from High School Years, and I cluttered it up with some beauty products, as well as the skyline statue, which is from Growing Together, and a plant. I placed a mirror on top of that, and then I added this bigger wardrobe on the other side of the fireplace, because I thought that this little chest of drawers is not enough space for the whole wardrobe and the clothes of the sim living here. Next to the wardrobe I placed this chair, which is from Eco Lifestyle. While I was playtesting, I couldn't get my sim to sit in it, so I had to move it, and I placed it in the corner by the bookcase, between the bookcase and the bathroom door. I swap out the plant in the corner for one from Dine Out, and then I'm furnishing the ensuite bathroom. And in here I placed down a toilet, a sink, and a bathtub, as well as this barrelwood bath cabinet from Horsemange. And I placed this mirror cabinet, which is from Base Game, on top of the wash basin of the sink. For me, I feel like the sim living here. She likes to place notes on her mirror here as well. So when she has an idea, she writes it down on a post-it and sticks it on this mirror. And I clutter up the space with a soap dispenser, a towel, and this glass that has a toothbrush and toothpaste in it, which is from the bathroom clutter kit as well. And this toilet rock that is from this kit too. And what else is there? Oh yeah, a toilet paper roll, of course, and a bath towel above the bathtub, as well as my beloved hanging plant from the Blooming Rooms kit in the corner. And I put this rusted vent from the 4 vent expansion pack on the wall because this is a bathroom that has no windows, so I thought it would be quite realistic to have an exhaust fan. And then I suddenly remembered that I had to place down some light switches, so I did that. So the last room I'm decorating right now is the balcony, and here is a sitting area as well as a place where you can plant some herbs. And as we are almost at the end of this video, I am very curious if you have an idea which series character might be living here. And this is your last call to write down your suggestions in the comments, as I will give you the correct answer just now. So are you ready? This apartment is inspired by Mabel Mora from Only Murders in the Building. Congrats if you guessed it right. I hope you had fun watching. If you want, you can download this under the ID simbirdie_YD. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you in my next video. Take care, happy Sims 4 building. Bye bye and enjoy the screenshots.